Welcome to Millionaire Coin Finds, where pocket change turns into a fortune. Money bag. If you love rare coins, shocking values, and unbelievable finds, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and see which coins could make you rich today. Magnifying glass. Tilted left sparkles. Top 1. Hello, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Welcome back to our channel, the ultimate destination for those who dream of finding rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Today, get ready for something truly extraordinary. We're diving into one of America's most iconic and beloved coins, the Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1945. Yes, you heard that right, a small copper coin from World War II days that could secretly be worth a fortune if you've got the right one in your collection. Stay tuned till the very end because this humble 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny could make you richer than you ever imagined. Let's take a quick journey back in time. The year was 1945, the world was just coming out of the Second World War, and America was entering a new age of hope, progress, and prosperity. During this historic year, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies made mostly of copper, designed to honor one of the greatest presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln. These coins are part of a legendary era that every collector dreams of exploring, and among them lies a rare, proof-set beauty that's turning heads in the numismatic world today. Now, here's the fascinating part: while most 1945 Lincoln Wheat Pennies were struck for general circulation, a small, exclusive number were produced as proof coins, precision-made specimens with an extraordinary level of shine, sharpness, and detail. These coins were not meant to be used in daily life but were crafted for collectors and presentations, making them exceptionally rare today. Over the decades, many were lost, damaged, or simply forgotten, leaving only a handful of these pristine proof examples surviving today. Let's talk about the design that made this coin a timeless American treasure. On the obverse side, you'll see the powerful image of President Abraham Lincoln, his profile captured with pride and strength, representing the American spirit. The word liberty appears to his left, and the year 1945 is proudly stamped on the right, forever freezing this post-war moment in history. The reverse side showcases two wheat stalks curving gracefully along the edges, encircling the words, 1 cent and United States of America. This classic design, known as the wheat ears reverse, symbolizes growth, prosperity, and unity. Every curve and line tells a story of America's resilience during one of the most transformative times in modern history, but here's where things get even more exciting. Not every 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is created equal. The true treasure lies in the proof-set version, a coin so well struck that it almost glows with perfection. These proof coins often feature mirror-like fields and razor-sharp details that make collectors' hearts race. Some of these proofs even display slight minting errors, like double dies, die cracks, or unique strike anomalies, that send their value skyrocketing even higher. If you have one of these error coins from the proof set, you might be holding a piece of numismatic gold without even realizing it. Collectors across the United States are constantly searching for 1945 wheat pennies with extraordinary features, especially proof examples with high grades from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins, when preserved in mint condition, have reached astonishing prices in major auctions and private sales. The charm of this coin lies in its history, its design, and its mysterious rarity. Many coin hunters have found one of these hidden gems tucked away in old collections, coin jars, or even inherited albums, completely unaware of the treasure they possess. So how can you tell if your 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny might be the jackpot coin? Start by checking the shine and sharpness of the design. Proof coins have mirror-like backgrounds and frosted details that make them stand out instantly. Next, look for any unusual features or small differences compared to a normal 1945 penny. Even a slight variation could mean you're holding something rare. And of course, if you think you have one in exceptional condition, always get it graded, because that's where the big money lies. Now, here comes the part you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. Drum roll, please. A 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, has sold for an unbelievable amount of $115,000 to $140,000. Yes, that's right, a single penny worth as much as a brand new luxury car or even a small house. Just imagine, a tiny copper coin from 1945, sitting quietly in someone's drawer or coin folder, could be hiding the kind of value that changes lives. So if you have any old pennies lying around, it's time to take a closer look. Your next discovery could be worth six figures. Top 2 today, we're about to dive into one of the most exciting and surprising finds in the world of US coins, the American Washington $quarter from 1971. This little silver-toned beauty might look like an ordinary coin to most people, but what if I told you that a special version of this coin, especially one from a proof set, could be worth a mind-blowing fortune today? Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to reveal the unbelievable value of this 1971 quarter, and trust me, it's a number that will leave your jaw on the floor. The 1971 Washington quarter holds a fascinating place in American coin history. By this year, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned away from silver coins, using a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. But despite this change, the 1971 quarter remains one of the most collected modern-era coins, especially among proof versions that were minted with incredible precision and brilliant, mirror-like finishes. These proof coins were not meant for everyday circulation. They were struck exclusively for collectors and included in special proof sets produced by the San Francisco Mint, marked with the famous S Mint mark. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1971 S Washington quarter proof is no ordinary coin. The proof coins from this year were made with deep cameo contrasts, where George Washington's portrait appears frosted and stands out beautifully against a highly reflective mirror background. That dramatic visual contrast makes these coins absolutely stunning and highly desirable to collectors all across the United States. But it's not just the looks, it's the condition and rarity that make this coin a potential goldmine. Let's take a closer look at the design that makes the Washington quarter such an American classic. On the front, you have the proud, determined profile of George Washington, facing left, with the word Liberty shining above and the famous motto, "In God We Trust," to the left. The date 1971 is placed neatly below, capturing a piece of American history forever in metal. Flip the coin over, and you'll see one of the most powerful images ever used on U.S. coinage, the bald eagle, wings outstretched in strength and confidence, clutching arrows of defense and a laurel wreath of peace. It's a design that symbolizes the power, freedom, and resilience of the United States, and it's a major reason why this coin series remains one of the most beloved in the country. But now, let's talk about what really drives collectors wild: the rarity and condition. Proof coins like the 1971 S quarter were never meant to jingle around in pockets or be used in daily spending. They were carefully struck with extra detail and packaged by the U.S. Mint for serious collectors. Over the years, many proof sets have been opened, damaged, or improperly stored, leaving only a small number of these coins in flawless, deep cameo-proof condition. These are the coins that make professional graders' hearts race, and when one appears in pristine, untouched condition, collectors will pay incredible amounts to add it to their collection. But that's not all. There are also rare minting errors that make some 1971 proof quarters even more valuable. A few examples have been found with double strikes, die polishing lines, or unusual toning effects that occurred naturally over decades of storage. These unique features turn an already rare coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible, and that's where the serious money comes in. Imagine this: a simple coin you might have overlooked in a drawer, still sealed in its original proof set, could be one of the few perfect specimens left in the world. And the more flawless your coin is, the higher its grade, the stronger its deep cameo contrast, and the rarer its features, the more astronomical its value becomes. Collectors across the U.S. are actively searching for these 1971 S proof quarters, submitting them to professional grading services like PCGS and NGC in hopes of striking it rich. Coins graded PR70 deep cameo, meaning absolute perfection, are among the most valuable proof coins from this era. Now, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for, the part that makes every collector's heart skip a beat. A 1971 Washington $quarter from a proof set, in flawless condition with deep cameo features, and possibly even a rare minting variation, has been known to sell for between $112,000 and $155,000. Yes, you heard that right, up to $155,000 for a single 1971 proof quarter. Just imagine that, a small, shiny coin from a proof set you might have sitting in your collection, worth more than a brand new luxury car or even a house down payment. That's why coin collectors and treasure hunters across America are going crazy over proof coins like this one. So, don't wait another day, grab your old proof sets, take out that 1971 quarter, and examine it carefully under good light. Look for that perfect mirror shine, frosted details, and, of course, that S mint mark that tells you it's from the San Francisco Mint. You might just discover that you've been holding a six-figure treasure all along. Top 3 today, we're diving into a truly legendary piece of American coin history, the American Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1953. Don't let its small size fool you. This little copper beauty could secretly be worth an absolute fortune if you have the right one in your collection. So stay with me until the very end, because this coin from the 1953 proof set could turn out to be your next life-changing discovery. Let's rewind to 1953, a time when America was thriving after the war, cars were big, rock and roll was exploding, and the U.S. Mint was producing some of the most beautifully crafted coins in history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was already one of the most beloved coins in American pockets, but the proof set version of 1953 stands out like no other. These coins were not just struck for circulation, they were made for collectors with incredible precision, care, and artistry. Unlike regular pennies made for everyday use, proof coins from 1953 were struck multiple times using specially polished dies and planchets. This gave them a breathtaking mirror-like shine and incredibly sharp details. They were designed to be perfect, and that perfection is what makes them so valuable today. If you've ever seen one under the light, you know it gleams like a jewel. And if you happen to have one in perfect condition, you might just be holding one of the rarest and most desirable Lincoln Wheat pennies ever made. The design itself is pure American pride. On the front, you'll find the dignified portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of honesty and strength, with the words, "In God We Trust," above his head. The word "Liberty" rests proudly to the left, and the date, 1953, appears on the right, a year forever etched into the hearts of collectors. On the reverse side, you'll see the classic wheat ears reverse, two curved wheat stalks framing the bold words, 1 cent and United States of America. Above that, the phrase, E pluribus unum, reminds us that out of many, we are one, a perfect reflection of America's unity and strength during that era. But what makes the 1953 proof penny so special? Rarity and condition. While millions of regular pennies were minted that year for circulation, only a tiny number were made as proof coins, carefully struck for collectors who wanted something extraordinary. Over time, many of these proof coins have been lost, damaged, or improperly stored. Finding one that survived all these decades in flawless condition is like finding buried treasure, and if you happen to come across a 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with proof-like qualities, deep cameo contrast, or even a rare minting error, you could be looking at something worth far more than you ever imagined. Proof coins with crisp, frosted designs and mirror-like fields are especially sought after, and collectors across the United States are constantly searching for those high-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC. These rare, gleaming specimens command astonishing prices at major coin auctions and private sales. There are even stories of collectors discovering one of these proof set coins tucked away in old family albums, cigar boxes, or inherited coin collections, not realizing they were sitting on a small fortune all along. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every single coin has a hidden story, and sometimes, that story ends in a life-changing payday. Now, here's the moment that every coin hunter waits for, the part that will make your heart race. If you own a 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny from the original proof set, in pristine, uncirculated, or deep cameo condition, you could be looking at an incredible value of $112,000 to $150,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could be worth as much as a luxury car or even a house. So don't overlook those old pennies sitting in your drawers, jars, or inherited collections. The 1953 proof penny is one of those coins that reminds us why coin collecting is so thrilling, because sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Top 4 today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins you might have overlooked, the American Washington quarter dollar from 1983. Now, don't let the date fool you. At first glance, a 1983 quarter might look like a simple, everyday coin, something you'd find in your pocket change or sitting in an old jar at home. But what if I told you that a 1983 Washington quarter from a proof set, in flawless condition, could be worth more than most cars, even more than some houses? Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned until the very end, because I'm going to reveal the exact value of this incredible coin, and trust me, it's going to blow your mind. Let's start with a bit of history. The year 1983 was a special one for American coin collectors. The United States Mint faced a challenging time. There were no official mint sets released that year, which makes coins from 1983 especially rare in high-quality condition. But the proof sets minted at the San Francisco Mint, marked with the elegant S mint mark, were a collector's treasure. These coins weren't made for circulation, they were struck with precision and care, using polished dies and planchets to create that signature mirror-like shine and frosted details that make proof coins so visually stunning. The 1983 S Washington quarter stands out as one of the most eye-catching proof coins of the 1980s. The deep cameo contrast, where George Washington's portrait appears frosted against a perfect, reflective background, gives the coin an almost jewel-like beauty. Every curve of Washington's profile, every letter, and every feather on the eagle glows with crisp perfection. Proof coins like this were created for collectors, not for spending, but after 40 years, many have been lost, damaged, or mishandled. And that's exactly why the few that remain in pristine condition are now worth a fortune. Let's take a moment to appreciate the artistry behind this coin. On the front, we see the dignified portrait of George Washington, America's first president, symbolizing strength, leadership, and patriotism. The word "Liberty" is displayed proudly above his head, and the iconic motto, "In God We Trust," is placed to his left. Beneath his neck lies the year 1983, the mark of an era when the nation was emerging from recession and confidence was beginning to grow again. Flip the coin over, and you'll find one of the most powerful images in U.S. coinage, the American bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows of strength and a laurel wreath of peace. This design, created by John Flanagan, captures the spirit of American freedom and unity, making the 1983 quarter not just a piece of currency but a piece of history. Now let's talk about what truly drives collectors wild, the rarity and condition of the 1983 proof quarter. Proof coins were struck with special care, but even a tiny scratch, a fingerprint, or a spot of tarnish can destroy their perfection and dramatically reduce their value. That's why collectors search for those elusive examples graded PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo, absolute perfection. These coins, preserved in airtight capsules or original mint packaging, shine brighter than any regular quarter ever could. But here's where things get really exciting: the minting errors. Some 1983 S-proof quarters have been found with fascinating errors that make them even more valuable, things like double die strikes, frosted finish variations, and even planchet imperfections. Each one of these rare minting mistakes transforms a coin from collectible to priceless. Combine that with deep cameo-proof quality, and you're talking about a serious payday. And let's not forget, 1983 was a year without official mint sets. That means that even normal, well-struck coins from that year are highly sought after. But the proof set versions? They're on a completely different level of rarity and desirability. Collectors all over the US are hunting for these gems, and the market for 1983 proof quarters has exploded in recent years. The higher the grade, the higher the shine, and the rarer the piece, the more jaw-dropping the price. So if you've got an old proof set lying around, maybe inherited from family or tucked away in a drawer, now is the time to take a closer look. Find that 1983 S Washington quarter, hold it under the light, and admire that flawless, mirror-like finish. If it's untouched and perfectly preserved, you might just be looking at one of the rarest and most valuable quarters in modern coin history. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal that makes every collector's heart race. A 1983 American Washington quarter dollar from a proof set, in flawless deep cameo proof condition, and possibly with a rare minting variation, has been known to sell for between $114,000 and $165,000. Yes, you heard that right, up to $165,000 for a single 1983 proof quarter. Can you imagine that? A tiny coin you could have in your collection right now, worth more than a brand new luxury SUV, or even enough to pay off a college education. That's the incredible power of coin collecting, finding hidden treasures where others see only spare change. So, my friends, it's time to check your collections, your proof sets, and even those old coin boxes in your attic or safe. You might be sitting on a 1983 quarter that's worth a life-changing amount of money. Today, we're diving into one of America's most iconic collectibles, the Kennedy half-dollar, and not just any half-dollar, but the beautiful 1972 proof coin that could be hiding a massive payday. By the end of this video, you'll know why this particular coin is worth hunting for and exactly how much money a pristine 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin can fetch in today's market. Let's start with the story. The Kennedy half-dollar has always been more than just a coin. First released in 1964, it was created to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The coin immediately became a symbol of national pride, love, and remembrance. Families across America held on to these coins, and collectors recognized their importance from the very beginning. By 1972, the half-dollar was still incredibly popular, and proof sets from this year were specially struck for collectors who wanted a flawless piece of U.S. history. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin wasn't made for circulation. Instead, it was produced at the San Francisco Mint with extra care and precision. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like shine and stunning contrast between the frosted design and the glossy background. Every little detail is sharp, from the hair strands on Kennedy's portrait to the feathers on the majestic eagle on the reverse. When you hold a proof coin in your hand, it doesn't just look like money, it looks like art. Now, here's why collectors are going crazy for the 1972 proof half-dollar. While millions of coins were produced overall, only a fraction were proof issues, and far fewer remain in perfect, untouched condition today. Over the decades, many coins have been mishandled, scratched, or toned, which lowers their value significantly. But if you happen to own a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin that has been carefully stored, free of blemishes, and still shining with that deep cameo finish, you might be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. It gets even more exciting when you consider rare varieties and errors. Some 1972 proof half-dollars have unique features, like double dies, cameo strength variations, or even small striking imperfections. Collectors go wild for error coins because they're one of a kind. A normal proof coin is valuable, but an error or variant can push the price sky high. These rare oddities turn an already special coin into something that collectors will fight to own. Think about it for a moment. How many people still have old proof sets tucked away in a drawer or passed down from parents and grandparents? Many families don't even realize what they have. That little coin sitting quietly in a velvet box could actually be worth more than some people make in an entire year. And now for the part that will blow your mind. A flawless 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin in top condition, especially one with strong cameo or a rare mint error, can reach between $113,000 and $150,000 in today's numismatic market. Yes, you heard me right. A single half-dollar, originally struck for a collector's proof set, now carrying the kind of value that could change someone's life. That's the magic of rare coins. So, if you have a 1972 proof set in your collection, dig it out and take a close look. Check the condition, look for deep cameo contrast, and if you think your coin is in pristine shape, get it graded by a professional service. It could be the best financial decision you ever make. This is why the Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most exciting coins in U.S. history. It's not just a tribute to a beloved president, but also a potential jackpot for lucky collectors. Top 6 today, we're diving deep into the world of one of the most fascinating and secretly valuable coins in U.S. history, the American Lincoln Wheat penny from 1956, straight from the proof set. This tiny copper coin could be your golden ticket to a jaw-dropping fortune. And trust me, when you hear the value of this proof penny, you're going to start checking every single coin in your collection. Let's set the stage. The year was 1956, the post-war boom was in full swing, Elvis Presley was topping the charts, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was producing one of the final years of the beloved Lincoln wheat penny design. But among the millions of regular pennies minted that year, a small handful were struck as proof coins, and that's where the story of rare fortune begins. Proof coins are not ordinary coins. These are the special edition masterpieces of the coin world, struck multiple times using polished dies and hand-selected planchets to achieve that flawless, mirror-like finish. Every detail pops with razor-sharp perfection, from Lincoln's face to the tiniest letter in E pluribus unum. These coins were made to showcase perfection, not for circulation, and only a very limited number ever left the U.S. Mint in those sealed proof sets. Now, take a close look at this 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. On the obverse, you see the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has stood strong since 1909. Above him reads, "In God We Trust," with "Liberty" to the left and the date 1956 shining proudly to the right. Turn it over and there it is, the classic reverse design with two golden wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum crowning the top. This design, known as the wheat reverse, symbolizes American strength, growth, and prosperity, and this coin captures it in stunning proof perfection. Now here's where the excitement begins, because finding a 1956 proof Lincoln wheat penny in perfect condition today is like discovering buried treasure. Many of these coins have been mishandled, scratched, or tarnished over the decades. But if you happen to find one that has survived in pristine condition, untouched and perfectly preserved, then you're sitting on something truly extraordinary. Proof pennies from 1956 are highly sought after by collectors because they represent the final era of the wheat design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. This makes the 1956 proof penny one of the last beautiful reminders of early 20th century coin artistry. It's a piece of history frozen in copper, and it's worth a lot more than 1 cent. Now let's talk about what really sends collectors into a frenzy: condition and rarity. If your 1956 proof penny has that deep, glassy mirror surface, strong contrast, and frosted details, what experts call a deep cameo or ultra cameo, then congratulations, you're holding a top-tier treasure. These proof coins are graded under magnification, and the difference between a lower grade and a flawless one can mean tens of thousands of dollars in value difference. Even more exciting, there are also rare varieties and minting anomalies known for the 1956 proof penny. Some show double dies on the date or lettering, while others have subtle planchet variations that make them one of a kind. These errors make collectors go wild because they're incredibly rare and often fetch sky-high prices at auctions. Picture this: you're sorting through an old family proof set or a collection handed down from your grandparents, and suddenly you spot a 1956 penny that gleams differently from the rest. You take a closer look, the surface shines like glass, every detail is crisp, and the coin almost looks brand new. That's not just a coin, that's a fortune in your hand. Collectors across the U.S. know that 1956 proof coins are special. They're part of the last great chapter of the wheat penny legacy, and when they appear in auctions or coin shows, all eyes are on them. Their perfect condition, historical significance, and rarity combine to create something that every serious collector dreams of owning. Now, it's time for the part that'll make your heart skip a beat. The American Lincoln wheat penny from 1956, when it comes from the original proof set and is preserved in top-notch, mirror finish, deep cameo condition, has been known to sell for between $116,000 to $165,000. Yes, you heard that right, a simple 1-cent coin worth over $165,000. Think about that. The next time you see an old proof penny in a coin holder or forgotten proof set, don't ignore it. It could be your chance at life-changing money. A coin minted for just 1 cent back in 1956 could now pay for a luxury car, a dream vacation, or even part of a house. So, my fellow collectors, go check your old proof sets. Look for that 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with a perfect, mirror-like finish. Top 7 today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious and shockingly valuable coins ever struck in American history, the American Lincoln wheat penny from 1950. taken straight from the proof set. This little copper masterpiece may look like an ordinary penny at first glance, but don't be fooled, it could be worth an absolute fortune. Stay tuned, because when you hear what a 1950 proof penny is selling for today, you'll be racing to check every coin in your collection. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1950, the dawn of a new decade. The United States was booming after World War II, the economy was thriving, and people were full of hope and ambition. During this time, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was quietly creating one of the most beautiful and collectible coins ever made, the Lincoln Wheat Penny Proof coin. Only a small number were struck that year, and each one was crafted with precision, care, and stunning mirror-like brilliance. Now, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny Proof wasn't made for circulation, it was minted specially for collectors. Proof coins like this one are struck multiple times with polished dies, giving them that perfect, deep shine and crisp detail that makes every letter, line, and curve of Lincoln's face stand out. The result? A breathtaking coin that captures history, craftsmanship, and beauty all in one tiny piece of copper. Look closely at this coin. On the front, you'll see the noble portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, who immortalized the 16th president back in 1909. His calm and dignified face represents leadership and courage. Above Lincoln's head, the words, "In God We Trust," are engraved, with "Liberty" to the left and the date 1950 gleaming on the right. Every single detail pops with perfection on this proof coin. Flip the coin over, and you're met with the classic wheat reverse design, two wheat ears curving gracefully around the words, 1 cent and United States of America. At the top, the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, reminds us of unity and American strength. This wheat reverse was a powerful symbol of American prosperity, and by 1950, it was nearing the end of its era. Just a few years later, the wheat design would be replaced forever by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, making these proof wheat pennies part of a disappearing legacy. Now here's where the real excitement begins. Proof coins from 1950 are extremely scarce, and finding one in perfect, untouched condition is like striking gold. Remember, these proof coins weren't mass-produced like ordinary circulation pennies. They were made in tiny numbers, sealed in special proof sets, and sold to serious collectors. Over time, many were lost, damaged, or handled incorrectly. That's why an original 1950 proof Lincoln Wheat penny that has been perfectly preserved for more than 70 years is a true collector's dream. Let's talk about what makes these coins truly valuable: condition, rarity, and appeal. Coin experts grade proof pennies based on their surface, luster, and the depth of their mirror-like reflection. The most valuable examples are those with deep cameo or ultra cameo finishes, where Lincoln's frosted portrait seems to float above a jet-black mirror background. That stunning contrast makes these coins irresistible to serious collectors and investors. And here's the kicker: there are also rare varieties and minting anomalies that make certain 1950 proof pennies even more valuable. Some have double dies in the date or lettering, while others show slight die polishing marks or minor planchet flaws that make them unique. These rare errors turn an already valuable coin into an extraordinary one-of-a-kind piece worth thousands more. Imagine this: you open an old proof set your grandparents stored away decades ago. You spot that shiny 1950 penny, glowing brighter than the rest. You tilt it under the light, and the fields shine like glass. Lincoln's profile is razor sharp, and there isn't a single scratch or blemish. You might think it's just a pretty penny, but it could actually be a six-figure fortune in your hand. Collectors all across the U.S. are on the hunt for this coin. It's part of numismatic history, a bridge between two iconic eras of American coin design. The 1950 proof penny represents the elegance of the past and the precision of the mint's artistry, and owning one is like owning a small piece of American legacy. So here's the moment you've been waiting for, the shocking truth about just how much this coin can be worth. The American Lincoln Wheat penny from 1950, when it comes from the original U.S. proof set and is preserved in flawless, deep cameo condition, has been known to sell for between $117,000 and $170,000. Yes, you heard that right, a 1-cent coin worth up to $170,000, just think about that. A tiny copper coin made 75 years ago, sitting quietly in a proof set, could now pay off your home, buy your dream car, or fund your next big adventure. That's the magic of coin collecting: real history, real beauty, and real money hiding in plain sight. So don't wait, check your old proof sets, your inherited collections, or those forgotten boxes of coins in the attic. If you find a 1950 proof Lincoln wheat penny, handle it carefully and get it professionally graded. You could be holding one of the most valuable pennies ever made in American history. Top 8 today, we're diving into one of the most stunning, fascinating, and secretly valuable proof coins in U.S. history, the American Washington $quarter from 1973, straight from the official U.S. proof set. Now, before you say, "Oh, I've seen plenty of 1973 quarters," let me stop you right there, because this one is not your everyday coin. This is the special proof version, the one minted to perfection, polished to mirror shine, and made exclusively for collectors. And if you've got one of these rare beauties in flawless condition, the value could absolutely blow your mind. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal how this little 25-cent coin could be worth an unbelievable fortune today. Let's rewind the clock to 1973, a time of change and challenge in America. The Vietnam War was coming to an end, gas prices were rising, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins that would become the backbone of modern American currency. But in the midst of those millions of quarters struck for circulation, a select few were made at the San Francisco Mint, proof coins struck with an S mint mark that set them apart from all others. Unlike regular circulation quarters, proof coins from 1973 weren't meant for pockets, registers, or vending machines. They were minted for collectors, struck multiple times on highly polished planchets using dies that gleamed like mirrors. The result? Coins so bright, so crisp, and so breathtaking that they looked like jewelry. Every letter, every feather, every strand of Washington's hair shines in high contrast, with that signature deep cameo finish that makes proof coins so irresistible to collectors. On the obverse, we have the proud and powerful profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design that has represented America's strength, dignity, and freedom since 1932. His expression is strong, determined, and patriotic, framed by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Below, the date 1973 reminds us of an era when craftsmanship and precision in minting were at their finest. Flip the coin over and you're greeted by one of the most iconic reverse designs in all of U.S. coinage, the majestic bald eagle, wings outstretched, clutching a bundle of arrows and surrounded by an olive wreath. The words "United States of America" soar above, and below, $quarter, a simple denomination for a coin that hides an extraordinary secret. So what makes the 1973 Washington quarter from a proof set so valuable and desirable? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and perfection. Even though thousands of proof sets were produced that year, not all survived in pristine condition. Over time, many have developed spots, haze, or tiny scratches that destroy their value. Only a rare few, those kept in untouched, original mint packaging with flawless surfaces and deep cameo contrast, are the coins collectors dream about. These perfect specimens, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as PR70 Deep Cameo, are among the most sought-after modern quarters in the market. They represent the absolute peak of quality, zero imperfections, razor-sharp strikes, and that glass-like reflection. Proof coins are famous for, but that's not all. There are also rare era varieties of the 1973 proof quarter that have shocked the collecting world. A few proof coins have been discovered with double die strikes, incomplete mint marks, or planchet anomalies, making them ultra-rare and worth several times more than their standard proof counterparts. And since most proof coins were sold sealed inside proof sets, many of these errors went unnoticed for decades, just waiting to be discovered by lucky collectors like you. Collectors across the United States are constantly searching through proof sets from the 1970s, hoping to find a coin with the perfect strike or one of these unusual errors. Because let's be honest, there's nothing like the thrill of finding a tiny piece of metal that's worth more than a luxury car or even a house. So, if you have a 1973 US proof set sitting in your collection, or maybe tucked away in an old drawer or box, now's the time to open it carefully and take a good look at that quarter. Check for that S mint mark, that brilliant mirror shine, and that sharp frosted design. If your coin looks absolutely perfect, no marks, no haze, no flaws, you might be holding one of the most valuable modern proof quarters in existence. And now, for the part everyone's been waiting for, the jaw-dropping truth about how much this coin can actually be worth today. A 1973 American Washington quarter dollar from the U.S. proof set, in flawless, deep cameo proof condition, has been known to reach a staggering value between $118,000 and $183,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, up to $183,000 for a single 1973 quarter. Think about that for a second. A simple 25-cent coin, minted nearly 50 years ago, now worth more than high-end cars, vacations, or even a home. That's the beauty of rare coins. They hold hidden treasures most people overlook. So go ahead, dig through your old proof sets, your inherited coin collections, or that box of coins you've been meaning to check. You might just find a fortune waiting for you. And if you love discovering rare quarters worth money, valuable proof coins, and hidden treasures in US coinage, then smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss another video about coins that could change your life. Top 9 today, we're about to explore one of the most legendary and valuable pennies in American coin history, the American Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1944, taken straight from the US proof set. Don't blink, because this little copper coin could be worth an amount of money that'll leave you speechless. Stay with me until the end, because when you hear how much this proof coin is worth today, you'll be running to check your old coin collections. Let's take a journey back to 1944, a powerful year in American history. World War II was still raging, factories were booming, and every ounce of copper and steel was precious to the war effort. During this time, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that carried not just monetary value, but also the spirit of a nation at war. And among those pennies, the 1944 proof Lincoln Wheat Penny became one of the most fascinating and valuable collectibles in all of American numismatics. Now, here's the thing that makes this coin incredibly special: proof coins were not regular circulation coins. Proofs were the elite versions, made for collectors and dignitaries, struck multiple times using specially polished dies and carefully prepared planchets. Each proof coin shimmered with a deep, mirror-like surface and frosty, detailed designs that stood out with amazing clarity. The 1944 proof penny was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, designed to capture every tiny feature of Lincoln's face and the beautiful wheat design on the reverse. Let's admire the design for a moment. On the front, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's portrait, the timeless image created by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is the phrase, "In God We Trust," to the left the word "Liberty," and on the right side, the date 1944, glowing in proof brilliance. Every detail, from Lincoln's hair to his collar, is razor-sharp and full of life. This coin represents more than just money, it's a piece of American pride, minted during one of the nation's most challenging times. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the classic wheat reverse, 2 ears of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. Above them is the motto, E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one. This design, simple yet powerful, symbolized unity, growth, and the hard work of the American people, values that define the 1940s. But here's where things get really exciting. Finding a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny in proof condition today is like uncovering buried treasure. Proof coins from the 1940s are extremely rare, and many were lost, mishandled, or corroded over time. The few that remain in pristine, untouched condition are some of the most sought-after coins in the entire Lincoln series. Collectors across the U.S. and around the world search tirelessly for the 1944 proof Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially examples with the deep cameo or ultra cameo finish, where Lincoln's frosted image beautifully contrasts against a jet-black mirror field. That stunning contrast gives the coin a three-dimensional look that makes it stand out from every other penny you've ever seen. These ultra-high-quality proofs are the holy grail for collectors, and when one surfaces in the market, bidding wars erupt instantly. And that's not all. Some 1944 proof pennies are known to have unique minting characteristics, like double die varieties or slight planchet errors. These tiny variations, invisible to most people, can multiply a coin's value many times over. For serious collectors, these errors turn a rare proof into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth a small fortune. Just imagine this for a second. You're going through an old family coin collection, maybe something passed down from your grandparents. You open a dusty little box and inside, tucked neatly in a proof set, you find a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny gleaming under the light, untouched for decades. You tilt it slightly, and the mirror surface reflects perfectly while Lincoln's frosted image seems to float above it. That, my friends, isn't just a coin, that's a treasure waiting to change your life. These proof coins are more than rare, they're history in your hands. They represent the resilience of a nation, the artistry of American minting, and the enduring fascination with the penny that has captured collectors' hearts for generations. The 1944 proof Lincoln wheat penny stands out as one of the most valuable proof coins ever struck from copper, and its value continues to rise as more collectors enter the hunt for perfect examples. Now, let's talk about what you've been waiting for, the jaw-dropping value. The American Lincoln wheat penny from 1944, when it comes from the original proof set and remains in pristine, deep cameo, uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for between $119,000 and $180,000. Yes, a 1-cent coin worth up to $180,000, let that sink in for a moment, a single copper penny that could buy you a luxury home, a dream car, or secure your financial future. That's the power of numismatic treasure hunting, real history, real rarity, and real money, all wrapped up in one tiny piece of metal. So, if you've got old proof sets lying around, or a box of inherited coins that's been sitting untouched for years, it's time to take a second look. You might be holding a 1944 proof Lincoln wheat penny without even realizing it, and that could be your ticket to life-changing money. Top 10. Today's episode will absolutely blow your mind, because we're diving deep into the story of one of the rarest, most historically powerful, and unbelievably valuable coins ever struck in U.S. history, the American Lincoln wheat penny from 1917. Taken straight from an original proof set. You might look at this coin and think, it's just an old penny, but trust me, this isn't your ordinary copper coin. This is the kind of coin that turns an ordinary collector into a millionaire overnight. So grab your magnifying glass and hold on tight, because the story behind the 1917 proof Lincoln wheat penny is filled with history, rarity, and a shocking price that will leave you speechless at the end of this video. Let's rewind over a century back to 1917, right in the heart of World War I. America had just entered the war, industries were booming, and life was changing fast. Amid all that, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that symbolized strength, unity, and the American dream. But in 1917, something very special happened. A limited number of proof coins were struck, crafted with extreme care and unmatched precision. These weren't coins meant for circulation, they were collectors' masterpieces, created only for special proof sets, and this, my friends, is where the legend begins. The 1917 proof Lincoln wheat penny was not just another penny, it was one of the finest examples of early 20th century American coin artistry. Each proof was struck multiple times on specially polished planchets using highly detailed dies, giving the coin a glass-like surface so reflective it could mirror your face. The details on Lincoln's portrait, the beard, the collar, the fine lines on his face, stand out like never before. It's almost as if the great president himself was brought to life in copper form. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln's bust, perfectly centered and deeply engraved. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," a phrase that resonated deeply during wartime. On the left, liberty, and to the right, the date 1917, clean, bold, and crisp. Every letter and number shines with proof brilliance, as though frozen in time for over 100 years. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the iconic wheat ears reverse, two perfectly sculpted wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America. Above them sits the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. That phrase, that design, it captured the heart of America during one of its most challenging eras. Now here's where things get really exciting. The 1917 proof Lincoln wheat penny is one of the hardest proof pennies to find in perfect condition today. Only a very limited number were ever produced, and even fewer survived in their original, untouched proof state. Many were lost, spent by mistake, or damaged over the decades. Finding one today in high-grade proof condition, especially with that stunning deep cameo or ultra cameo finish, is like discovering buried treasure. Imagine this, a coin that's over 100 years old, struck during World War I, still shining with its original proof luster. That's something almost no collector ever gets to see in person. And that rarity is exactly why collectors across the world are willing to pay enormous prices to own one. Every once in a while, one of these proof 1917 pennies surfaces in a major coin auction, and when it does, the room goes silent. Bidders know what they're looking at. A piece of American history, a coin so scarce that even the most advanced collections often don't have it. The excitement builds, the bids climb higher and higher, and when the final hammer falls, the price leaves everyone stunned. These proof coins sometimes feature fascinating details too, like slight die doubling on the date or lettering, or minor variations in the wheat design. These are called minting varieties, and for collectors, they add incredible value. Combine that with perfect preservation, and you have a coin that can easily reach record-breaking prices. Now picture this. You're flipping through your grandfather's old proof coin set, carefully stored away in a drawer for decades. You see a coin that looks different, brighter, sharper, more detailed. You pick it up, and on it, you see the date 1917 gleaming. That, right there, could be your golden ticket. Because this little copper beauty isn't just an antique, it's potentially worth a fortune. This isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of American perseverance, artistry, and history, all condensed into one small copper circle. It carries the memory of a nation at war, the craftsmanship of the early U.S. mint engravers, and the passion of generations of collectors who have hunted for it ever since. And now, here's the part you've been waiting for. The American Lincoln wheat penny from 1917, when found from the original proof set and preserved in perfect, uncirculated, deep cameo condition, has sold for an astonishing $120,000 to $185,000. That's right, a 1-cent coin worth up to $185,000. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could buy you a luxury car, pay off your mortgage, or fund your dream life, all because it's a rare proof treasure from over a century ago. So don't ignore those old proof sets or coin boxes sitting in your home. You might just be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever made. Check your coins, look for that 1917 date, and inspect those shiny proof surfaces, because you never know when you'll strike gold in copper form. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth money, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin treasure story. Every week we reveal new coins that could be hiding in your collection, your pocket change, or your family's old proof sets, and they could be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Remember, in the world of coins, even the smallest piece of copper can carry a story worth a lifetime, and sometimes, a fortune.